We'll have a quick look at adverbials to help you with the bottom section of your SPAG work this week. Before we really talk about adverbials, just a quick reminder of what an adverb is. Now, an adverb most commonly describes a verb. So we've got the example below, the boy skipped happily away. Now you'll notice I've written it twice. Once using the adverb before the verb and once using after the verb. It doesn't matter where it is placed in this sentence. Today, we are going to look at adverbial phrases. Now, an adverbial phrase is a group of words that function as an adverb, giving more description to the verb. They appear as part of a sentence, but they do not make sense alone. Jack will sit in silence. Now, in silence is telling us how he will sit. It's an adverbial phrase functioning as an adverb of manner. It tells us how Jack sat. When used to modify a verb, an adverbial phrase will usually describe when, where, how, or why something happens. It answers those questions. So let's try and spot the adverbials in my sentences below. I've got 4 sentences. Matilda replied with a defiant tone, "I shall not do that." The game was cancelled due to heavy rain. Under the tree, the lion dozed. For 8 years, the little girl waited to be rescued. Pause the video and try and spot the adverbial phrases. Remember, they answer the questions how, why, where, or when. See if you can find answers for those questions in my sentences. So, Matilda replied with a defiant tone. "I shall not do that." How did Matilda reply? Well, she replied with a defiant tone. So it tells us how she replied. It's again an adverbial phrase of manner. The game was cancelled due to heavy rain. Why was the game cancelled? It tells us why. Because of the heavy rain. Under the tree, the lion dozed. So wait a minute, where did the lion doze? Oh, under the tree. So this tells us where the lion was sleeping. For 8 years, the little girl waited to be rescued. When did the little girl wait to be rescued? Oh, for 8 years. This just tells us when or how long the girl waited. It's an adverbial of time. Now, just a bit like adverbs, the position of the sentence can be changed. For example, in this sentence, Bruce shoved more cake into his mouth as fast as he could. So as fast as he could is an adverbial of manner, telling us how he did it. He did it as fast as he could. We can move that to the beginning of our sentence and make it more of a fronted adverbial. As fast as he could, Bruce shoved more cake into his mouth. One thing you'll notice is that I've had to add a piece of punctuation in. So I've got a comma in my second sentence. This has to be done if your adverbial is at the front of a sentence. Again, we can call these fronted adverbials, or in this case is an adverbial of manner. How did he do it? How adverbial. So, can you try to rewrite my 4 sentences we looked at earlier, changing the position of the adverbial in the sentence? Remember, if you're moving it to the beginning of the sentence, add the comma. If it's already at the beginning of the sentence and you're moving it towards the end or in the middle, then you need to remove the comma potentially. Let's have a look at how you do. So I've included both the original sentence and the changed sentence here. Matilda replied with a defiant tone. "I shall not do that." I've taken the adverbial with a defiant tone and put it at the beginning of my sentence. With a defiant tone, Matilda replied, "I shall not do that." The game was cancelled due to heavy rain. I've taken the adverbial, due to heavy rain, and put it at the beginning of my sentence. Notice the fact that I've also added the comma because it says fronted adverbial. Due to heavy rain, the game was cancelled. So both my first 2 sentences, when I moved the adverbial, I turned them into fronted adverbials, so I needed the comma. Under the tree, the lion dozed. My original sentence, the adverbial is already at the beginning, so you'll notice a comma. As I'm moving it towards the end, I can remove that comma. The lion dozed under the tree. For 8 years, the little girl waited to be rescued. Again, that's at the front of my sentence. I had a comma. I can take that comma out now if I move its position. The little girl waited to be rescued for 8 years. I could embed that adverbial. Little girl waited for 8 years to be rescued. If I embed it, I will need 2 commas, almost acting as parenthesis there. Good luck. I hope you found this helpful. If you're still unsure, message your teacher on Teams or drop them an email to your class account. They'll be more than happy to help you with this activity. Well done, Year 5. You've been working so hard.